The Italians have dominated chess for 108 years. Giovanni Leonardo won the first tournament, passed the title to Boy as he died. Even though Salvio beat the previous champion, he was admired because of his pioneering historical chess book, Il Puttino. Sadly, their games didn't preserve. But around 1621, another Italian, Gioachino Greco, traveled to France, beating everyone. Then to England a year later, as well as going to Rome and Madrid, again, winning every single game. He's written several books capturing his own games and ideas and studying chess strategy overall. In these, he formulated the principles of the Italian chess school: rapid development, attacking sacrifices, especially pawns, and 3, f7 being the main target. Those three fundamentals were the backbone of the Italian chess reign. Looking forward a bit, Greco was so influential that when he died, chess fell into irrelevancy for 100 years, with his book, The Calabrian, being the only beam of light. But we'll look at 5 of his games with increasing level of genius. The first one is this miniature against Marconi. e4, e6, d4, knight f6, bishop d3 defending the pawn, knight c6, a couple more developing moves, and h4. Greco is starting the attack right away. Castling, knight retreats, and the brilliant bishop h7. Some of you may know this pattern as the Greek gift. Well, guess what? It was named after Greco, so you know how this pattern goes. Knight g5, but in this case, black can take. Yes, but there's a discovered check. Queen h5 and the king can't find peace on f5 because queen h3 and the checkmate is unstoppable. If king e4, then queen d3. So Marconi goes back only to get mated with the pigeon tail. Brilliant. But this game didn't show the third fundamental, the f7 target. This next one is based around that motive. It starts with the Italian, knight g5, d5, pawn takes, knight takes, and a knight sacrifice on f7. It's the fried liver, king takes. Queen f3, king defends knight, knight c3 applying pressure, knight e7, a silent castling to go rook e1, bishop d7, and d4. Now white can really win by any means, all thanks to the Italian chess school. It's king d6, rook takes, knight g6 attacking it, knight d5 not caring about that. Black gets greedy, and there's the punishment, pawn takes. It's a fun position. King e6 allows knight c7 and checkmate. King takes pawn delays it a little, but b4 and queen d3 is still mate. In the game, Greco's opponent went king c5, white sacrificed the bishop and mated with a pawn, but not many people know that he also played as black. There's this game starting with the king's gambit, to which black responds f5 for an aggressive counter gambit. It's accepted and Greco plays queen h5 check, which is now known as the Greco variation. And while after g3, white is totally winning, black would have many chances to strike right after. Then Greco takes the pawn with check and attacks the queen. d5 and black has successfully equalized it. g4 is a strange move, so it's challenged by h5, and here white should really continue with their plan, but they get scared into h3 and it's bad. Greco takes, there's a rook trade, and queen g3. Just look at how active black is, in contrast to white. Knight g4 should be taken because even though black gets both a check and the f5 pawn, white captures on d5 and is just down a pawn in initiative. But Greco's opponent is greedy again, taking on d5 right away. Bishop blocks in the fatal blunder. Knight f3, knight check, double check. If king goes to f1, queen f2 is checkmate, so king d1, but nowhere is safe as black sacrifices the queen for a smothered checkmate. A classic pattern nowadays. His mastery to turn a common opening position into a mating attack shows again in the next game. Starts with simple developing moves while his opponent is shuffling the queen questionably. Castles and bishop f7 on move 5. If takes, it's a royal fork, so his opponent moves the king, but there's rook e1 and a check sacrificing the bishop once again. And the next move might be the best of this game. d4 with a discovered attack on the queen, silently opening all the other pieces. Queen f6, check. King g6 is forced and a queen check from d3. If king h6, there's knight f7 double checkmate. King h5 and g4, after which black resigns because of queen h3 checkmate. But the fifth and last game in our small analysis was the most instructive in showing the true power of the Italian chess school. There's castling, knight f6, rook e1, black castles, c3, queen e7, d4 for a center exchange. No, white fools black with e5, so Greco starts building up an attack the first chance he gets with knight g4. C takes d4, which is, surprisingly, a mistake. The best move was b4 that led to this knight sacrifice. Black going insane with another piece sacrifice, but then queen c5 to take on c4. It's better for white, but black has an attack. But it wasn't played, and Greco took on d4. and after knight takes, queen h4 straight up going for the king. White finds knight f3, so what's wrong? It's a blunder. Queen f2, king h1 and queen g1. It's a smothered checkmate. So after seeing those 5 games, you might jump to a conclusion that Greco could only crush a bunch of dummies with fast attacks. And while he made his living from selling books about similar games and opening traps, Greco possessed a deep positional understanding. In this game, he faced a strong chess player at only 20 years of age. It started with the French defense, main line, where Greco controls all the light squares with pawns, while also having this bishop under these, a classic position for this opening. Here White opens up the A file and trades the rooks. Greco jumps the knight and trades, just giving his opponent a bishop pair. White trades off their bishop for the knight, and Greco tries to make more tactical by threatening checkmate. White defends, Black attacks the queen, and there's a positional sacrifice of a knight for 2 pawns, a tempo and not 1 but 2 passed pawns. White tries to trade the queen, rook c1, and now the only winning move is rook a8, trading the queens and passing the pawns. Greco can win right there, but he doesn't. This makes things a lot harder for Black. But after knight b3, Black sacrifices another piece, the rook. Why? Now he shocks White with another move, h6. If the bishop is saved, b2 and it's over, so rook c3, attacking the black pawn and then giving the rook for the pawn. White saves the bishop and it's practically equal. There are opposite colored bishops and White just needs to control b4, but White misses the chance to trade pawns, allowing the same light squared position, but with both sides having a pawn more. The difference is subtle, but it's enough to win. Although Greco needs to find some only moves. He goes king up and wins h3. The game is basically done at this point, since Black stretches the pants along 2 opposite files, leading to a resignation by White. He's a perfect player, or so we think. The games are coming from his own books, and Alessandro Salvio in both of them, especially the young Greco, needed to write the books in the most entertaining and engaging way possible. And this is the sad truth about old chess. The games could have been fabricated by a paid author. So was he not a strong player? We can agree that he could compose 90 brilliant games. He could have played these as well. That still makes him the strongest chess player in history until the middle 18th century. You see, he traveled to America, where he died at only 34. And in the next 100 years, there wasn't a player who would return the popularity to chess. That's until the Modenese chess masters. And 100 years later, the best thing they could possibly do was still continuing Greco's work. Ponziani, Del Rio, and Lolli all have chess things named after them. They were considered the best by paper, not by actual games. Since there's only like 4 surviving, and we won't analyze these, you've got all the Italian chess school ideas from the previous 6 masterpieces already. However, we'll look at numerous Ponziani opening traps, since it's really tricky and was something brand new at the time. The Ponziani starts with e4, e5, knight f, knight c6, and c3. The idea is to push d4 and fight for the center. Here, the knight takes, but don't worry, you can quickly gain it back by scaring away the knight. Now the most logical move of d6 loses. Bishop check, c6, and they recapture, seemingly targeting 2 of White's pieces. But there's knight takes, and if Black recaptures, White wins a piece. Black can attack the bishop while saving the queen and threatening mate, a multi-purpose move, but White blocks the checkmate, checks and defends the bishop, securing an extra pawn and leaving Black with no castling. All the way back when Black blundered with d6, they needed to go knight g6. Bishop d3 and Black should just trade, but if they choose the creative knight f2, hoping to win a pawn and tempo, there's bishop g6 sacrificing a queen. If Black takes, bishop f7, bishop g5, and White doesn't take the queen, instead playing knight c4, forcing king up, knight a3, another brilliant. It looks like Black can take the bishop, saving the queen and having a million threats. But b4 is mate in 1. If Black doesn't take the bishop, their king and queen both struggle as White attacks and succeeds. Another trap comes to life after knight f6, d6, and White pushes d5, scaring away the knight. There's a tricky bishop g5, and if Black takes the pawn, queen a4 wins the knight. It's a common idea to play d5 and queen a4 in the Ponziani. However, Black can go c6 in this position and equalize, so the best approach here is as simple as bishop d3 defending the pawn. But it isn't all so one-sided. In the main line, Black has bishop c5. If White doesn't take the knight and blocks the attack on f2, Black takes it and saves the knight. And if White tries to make the material equal, Black castles and attacks this pawn with both knights, thus winning a pawn. If White takes the knight, Black checks, and White needs to know queen d5, because if they go, let's say queen a4, attacking the knight, it jumps up and d takes c6 with a devastating attack for Black. Those were only the most common and simple traps, and I won't dive any deeper here, since our journey into these traps will get too long and complicated. Point is, This was heavily analyzed in the middle 18th century by the Modenese chess masters. But the Italian chess reign ended similarly to how it started. One man suddenly took over and beat everyone.